Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has here on the daily chart shown us a bit of a pullback. We're still above the range boundaries, so we're still above the upper boundary line of this trend, you could say trend channel of the range, which started to develop in March. So still holding above it. We rallied into that target area, or let's say rather we reached the 138% extension, which, as you know, is the first ideal target for the white third wave, which means if the larger degree fourth wave would start now, it wouldn't be a massive problem or surprise. The main support area on the daily chart, however, is between 53,760 and 63,160. These are 4 Fibonacci levels here within the zone to watch in case the pullback is a wave 2, which would arguably go a bit lower than the wave 4 in white. But the white wave 4 should also not break below 53,768. It should rather go a little, not go that deep, okay? Maybe rather find support around 63 to 60K. But on the 1 hour chart, which we're tracking in parallel, we are tracking smaller degree support levels, which are a little bit closer to the price, a little bit nearer. But here on the daily chart, the current thesis is that a larger degree fourth wave, which is a large correction, it's just a corrective pattern, okay? So we had a rally into the highs of 2023, 2024, and then this move up, and that's just one of these, it's just normal, we have to get a correction for these impulsive looking rallies, and that was the correction. And the corrections are typically characterized by overlapping waves, overlapping structures. And then from here, a fifth wave to the upside was ideally to unfold, and it could have started, right? And that fifth wave up is a 5-wave move. And we have already completed this structure, which is 3 waves in a wave 1. We need another 4-5 pattern to have wave 1 of 5, at least in my preferred interpretation. And then a wave 2, 3, 4, 5 could send us to new all-time highs then in the coming months, and also as we're heading into 2025. So that's the daily chart. Here it's important to understand that below support, so below 53,768, we have to assume that a larger degree correction is unfolding. We never finished the wave 4 in August. No, in fact, the wave 4 is still unfolding. Then with support between 43K and 49K. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. I want to take a quick look, and here you can see that this is still pushing aggressively, and we're likely still in that third wave I talked about before. I don't have to adjust support yet, but it requires a break below 57% now, below that orange support region, for a first indication that a top has formed. Now, my sort of next Fibonacci target here, or resistance level, is around 64.4%. So maybe we even get there. It looks a little bit like that because the chart, it doesn't need another high. It doesn't need another higher low and higher high. But at this point, it looks quite likely. So I leave the wave count unchanged. Just looks as if we are working on an extended wave 5, which I've labeled circle 5. We need another 4-5 pattern. So altcoin still weak. Which again isn't massively surprising in the current cycle. It's been the case throughout the entire cycle. That hasn't flipped yet, and I explained to you in previous updates why that is. And it is the case because we are in a different phase of market sentiment than in previous cycles. A lot of people are using the 4-year cycle theory, whereas we know that from a sentiment point of view, from an Elliott Wave point of view, those cycles are different, right? We're talking about waves 1, waves 3 and 4 and 5, and in this cycle we are in a larger degree fifth wave, whereas in the previous cycle in 2020, 2021, we were actually in a wave 3, and the third wave typically leads to more aggressive sentiment and euphoria, and that's exactly what we've seen, right? In the altcoin sector at the time, the sentiment was completely different than what it's now, and that can be explained by that, and we are, have shown that on our long-term chart a couple of days ago. Now let's talk about the smaller time frame. Here, not really any, oops, 1 second. No change compared to the last video. When I made the video yesterday, I highlighted to you that we could be very close to completing this pullback. And what we need to avoid is a sustained break below 69,380, and that the wave count to the downside was technically complete. But just a complete wave count doesn't mean we have to reverse. So it requires a break above initial resistance as a first indication that the next move up has started, because what could be the case, because we already reached our target on the 29th of October, it could be that this is not this wave degree of a wave 4, but in fact, we are in the larger degree wave 4 already, with support between 66,213 and 68,950. However, that would require evidence, like for example, a sustained break below the upper support area at 69,380. Now that hasn't happened yet, right? So the price actually turned around where it needed to just before breaking and sustaining that 50% retracement. The price broke it briefly, but it's not a sustained break. I think we can agree on that. And the price actually tested the trend line from above. What I need to see now, because it's only a 3-wave move up from the low, I need to see a break above 70,700, which is the initial resistance. Only that would indicate, or let's say only a break above that 50% retracement would be would reduce the likelihood of another low. All right, and then we have to see, okay, are we actually forming 5 waves up, which could be wave 1 of 5 and so on. So at the moment, again, as long as, but only as long as yesterday's low is holding, or let's say the overnight low that formed here at 68,860, I'm looking for one more high in this wave 5, just because the pullback is in 3 waves, right? And we haven't actually broken and sustained below support. It's a deep wave 4, and I will not rule out that we're already in an ABC structure in this 4th wave. Yeah, so please note that. That's definitely a possibility. Therefore, we added yesterday that additional support area, and it's just like my mindset has been, okay, we started a correction here on Tuesday. I made you aware, right? We were expecting a dip, and the trend is down as long as we stay below resistance. But now is actually the point where we like that resistance broken. So we'll keep an eye on that today. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Now, if you are interested in the membership, you can find a link to the website in the description. On the website, you can just click on our subscriptions tab, and then you find videos that explain how the membership works. We update additional coins there, especially for gold members that are normally not even covered on YouTube. Yesterday, for example, I covered NOT. That was one of those coins that's typically not covered on YouTube, but typically there are many more, like Say is covered there more frequently, Tia, Celestia, Popcat, for example, Dog with Hat, Jupiter, Mask, Metis, Pyth. You know, there are many, many more that I cover there that are actually not covered here on YouTube, or even they are covered more frequently for our gold members on Discord. Yeah, check it out. On Sunday, we have our next membership live stream as well, so we can take requests. Can't guarantee they will all be covered, but we take requests, and we talk about crypto, we talk about Elliott Wave. There's much more educational content there as well. So check it out and have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.